A lot of headroom in the VanDam live well, that's for sure. This is earlier today. Chris Lane on his way to a quick limit before the first hour was even expired.
Right there.
This right here just happened moments ago in Chris Lane's boat. Every day, you just nailed it, Mark Menendez. 2 or 3 big bites. You better get him in the boat. Chris Lane has been on the positive side of that situation.
Yeah! Whoa!
Just so worked out, he goes from 13 to 18 pounds, and like he says, I get one more like that, I am right there. I think he said 2 more, but I think 1 more will put him right there. Take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have plenty more of it for you. Might be able to coax Mark Menendez to stay around for one more segment. I hope so. I hope so.
Well, can you do one more with us? One more segment? Why not? One more time.
We don't want to wreck your trip home, but we'll be right back.
The Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Elite on Wheeler Lake is brought to you by Humminbird, Minn Kota, Skeeter Boats, Mercury, Hook, Nitro, and by Yamaha.
30, 29, 28, tick, tock. 25 years old, and you're still playing in the mud. 15 feet in the air, that's where you feel most alive. 10 meter maze, waiting to wallpaper your truck. Better get out of town. 5, 4, 3. The all-new Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
It's funny, I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. We have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
Live coverage of the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend will return after this short break.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
The competition is fierce, and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package, including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The classic and each individual elite event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at Bassmasterfantasy.com.
So we're at the halfway point of the season, and our Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year race really shaping up. We decided for 6 seconds this week to ask our anglers just how well they know the players. Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. 6 seconds, though. That's not much time. But let's have it. We'll give it a shot.
Go.
Mark Davis, Dean Rojas, Bobby Lane, Chris Lane, and Greg Hackney. I got one.
One was right. The other were total false lies.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
Mark Davis, Todd Faircloth. Oh gosh. Mark Davis, Jared Lintner, Jacob Prosnick.
Time's up.
I don't know the fifth one.
You didn't know the fourth one either. You got 3.
3. Wow.
6 seconds. Tell me the top 5 in Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Go.
Mark Davis, Jared Lintner. Oh, that's it.
Where did you go right there? I mean, your eyes closed. Well, where did you go? Top 5 in Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Go.
Let's see. Jared Lintner, Mark Davis, Jacob Prosnick, and not me. God, I really hadn't thought about it. It's too early to be asking questions like that.
Top 5 in the points. I have no idea. I'm way down the list.
Oh my gosh, I've been so far down the list. I don't pay attention to those guys way up there.
If I'm not in the top 5, I don't really care.
I don't know.
You didn't even answer the question.
Hey, like I said, I've been so far down the list.
I'm going to let you know you totally failed at 6 seconds.
I know I failed miserably at 6 seconds.
Top 5 in Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Go.
Mark Davis, Jared Lintner, Todd Faircloth, Jacob Prosnick, Chad Morgan Taylor.
Nailed it! Are you kidding me? You nailed it!
Outside of Ken Duke, I'm probably the biggest bass fishing nerd on the planet.
If you love bass fishing, then show your support by joining B.A.S.S today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing.
Patience, baby.
With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Bassmaster Live sliding ever closer to that 3:15 mark. That's the time this afternoon, Central Time. We will get them there at Cypress Bend and have everyone line them up, go in for a big-time weigh-in. Going to take it down to 12 on this day. We've had things popping up and down the leaderboard all day long. Kevin VanDam started with the lead, about 3 pounds worth of a lead. Went up, went down, back up again. Now Chris Lane on the strength of that big one. We just saw him catch on the top water lure there, taking the lead unofficially toward the bass track. So lots of development. We expect it to continue like this all day long. Mark Zona, you said the weight's generally a little less today.
A little bit less today. Right before our break, this is what Chris Lane did to put him at the top of your leaderboard unofficially.
Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. Big.
Oh my, don't you do it. Stand by, folks. This is a big one. No. Oh, she ain't done. Stand by, stand by. Yeah! Woo! Pow! Look at that! That's some live for you. Woo! Golly. That's a Toledo Bend beauty right there. A couple more of these. Hey, it's time right now, you know, late in the day is when I've been getting these big bites. Look how healthy and beautiful that is. That's why I throw that thing all day.
Chris Lane giving the crowd what they want to see, giving us what we want to see here on Bassmaster Live. Mark Menendez here with us for another 30 minutes or so, or 20 minutes or so, but we're going to take it back down to the aforementioned Cypress Bend Park, where the wild things live, among them Dave Mercer. So that's where we're going to have our weigh-in today at 3:15, 4:15 Eastern Time. But Dave, come with us here. Always got his guest all lined up. We got a special guest. Let's figure out who that is. Dave, welcome back, and what do we got going?
We have a very, very special guest here today. Of course, this tournament has basically been an infomercial for Louisiana. Everybody talking about how incredible the fishery is here in Toledo Bend, and the Lieutenant Governor with me here. And, I mean, here's the best thing. I mean, we talked to a lot of different political people, all of this politician fishes and love. Walking across the stage and just talking about even guys that didn't do good in the tournament saying, I don't want to leave. It's just that good.
Well, it's the best fishing in the world. You can fish.
You definitely do. And this body of water, so special. I mean, we travel to so many incredible lakes. I mean, obviously rated the #1 lake in the country right now by Bassmaster Magazine. What does this mean to your state?
Oh, it's wonderful, you know, to see the people, the weather. But this lake is special. I used to drive from up here as a child to go fishing, and it was my favorite vacation ever because we knew we were going to catch fish. So there's a lot of history and memories. Proud to be leading the state in promoting tourism, and we are the sportsman's paradise, and this is what it's all about. People out here with their families having fun, and you do catch fish here.
You definitely do. It is an incredible, I mean, I like I said to you, I fly to most tournaments. I drove to this tournament because I want to go fishing after this tournament. That's how good it is here.
Well, that's what we see. A lot of people come here and they travel all over Louisiana, fishing spots, to offshore, from Venice, from the deep sea fishing. Fishing is a way of life here. It's a sport, and we just love it.
We appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the support from the Louisiana State Tourism Department and, of course, yourself and the think we'll be back again.
I hope so. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you very much, but the hits keep coming, not just the Lieutenant Governor. Go on over here and joined by Chris Zaldain. Of course, first chance you're going to be part of this year, unfortunately for you. And unfortunately this time, Chris, have an incredible season once again here on the Bassmaster Elite Series. In the thick of things for Angler of the Year, but a little short this time.
Yeah, obviously a little disappointed. We're not out there fishing the top 50 cut. Ended up the tournament in 67th place, and totally missed the ball. I had a giant clue. Second day of the tournament, I caught a 9 or 10 pounder that kept me in the lower end of the lake, not the area I wanted to be in. 185,000 acre lake. It's like, which one of those acres do you want to choose to fish in? And I chose the wrong one. So I think we're sitting 6th in Angler of the Year right now, and just to kind of hang out. We're watching Chris Lane fish right now, and it's really cool seeing him after watching all that live footage of Takahiro Mori last week, watching Chris Lane back on that Shark Week program, catching those big giant topwater bass, seeing those giant topwater strikes is unbelievable. But to hang out here and hang out with you guys and Tommy and Zona, it's always a good time hanging with you boys.
Well, it's great to have you here, and I hope this is the last time we hang out like this, and you're making all the cuts for the rest of the season. But watching Chris Lane out on the water here today, moments ago, made a critical decision, and those decisions, what he did is obviously the rule: you cannot call a dead fish. So if you have a fish that is in trouble, you want to get that back in the water. Better chance for the fish, obviously, but also if that fish expires in your live well, you're stuck with that fish all day.
It absolutely is. I've been in that position before as well, and if you have one that's struggling and it's 2 or 3 pounder, and you need 5 and 6 pounders to make it and win, that's always a tough call. But better safe than sorry, not only for the preservation of the fish, but also the life of your tournament. So just again watching these giant topwater bites, and it's just really, really cool to watch.
It is very, very cool, and Chris Lane came out firing here today, off to an incredible start, and he always jacked up. Another pow for the crew there,
yeah.
but a little bit more, because Chris Lane, here's a guy who over the last 5 years has honestly been the most dominant Elite Series pro there is. Off to a horrible start this season, but turned it around at the last event and continues to do that here.
And the scary thing is Chris Lane is an absolute closer. If he's in contention after the first day, after the second day, makes a Saturday cut, makes a Sunday cut, he knows how to close them out. But Kevin VanDam and Hank Cherry's on a solid program as well, but KVD, man, it's good to see Kevin back. He's right in his element. Fishing offshore, throwing a giant crankbait. That's what he does best. And, just out here on Toledo Bend, it's an absolute shootout, and it's cool watching the big heavy hitters go at it.
Unique thing, a lot of tournaments we go to, the leaders are all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You go to Lake Erie, chances are leaders are all going to be drop shot and are fishing offshore. Leaders right now, Chris Lane, throwing a giant whopper plopper, big giant topwater along the shoreline. You've got Hank Cherry in second place, Flip.
You guys creep over there.
And then Kevin VanDam offshore.
One
it's
in
pretty
there
amazing to have 3 different techniques being in contention.
And that
I
just
know I'll be out
shows
there
how.
about 1 o'clock. That gives an hour and 5 minutes. So 2 docks over there.
Let's listen in on Hank Cherry right now.
A good miss down on Cypress Creek, and I caught a 4 pounder in practice and shook off like 2 other ones. So I knew that one fished that one. Those look nice and skinny. Slide a brown jig up there, see what happens.
We're going to hang up and go.
Standing brush, things like that.
We're going to go to the other side.
What's going on here as we watch Chris Lane and Hank Cherry, those critical decisions.
Couple more like that would
let's
be
talk
nice.
about the voices. Chris Lane said a couple more like in this tournament, obviously, but those voices right now, you've got an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think about the competition at all out there? I know you guys said it's you against the fish, but I got to think, especially when Kevin VanDam's leading, that's in your head. You think he's going to get him today.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the top 3, they're all doing something different, but how do you set yourself apart from the other top 2, the top 2 and the top 3? How do you set yourself apart making those key decisions? No matter what pattern you got to think in the back of your head, hey, you know, Chris Lane, for example, he's got to be thinking, oh, Kevin is smashing him. Hank Cherry's got to be thinking the same thing about Chris Lane. So how do you get the leg up on your competition? It's simple. You make the right decisions when they count. You know, it's flat, calm, and cloudy out there. That top water bite is, I mean, stellar right now. Kevin, he needs a little bit of current. He needs a little bit of wind, but I know he's off to a great start. I saw him catch a giant earlier this morning, and it's all about those little decisions that make the outcome. You know, that makes you stand out from the rest of the guys. So it's just those small little details.
Once again, your unofficial leader, Chris Lane, with 65 pounds and an ounce. Right behind him, Hank Cherry. And who's led from day number one. Kevin VanDam has slipped down to third place, but a lot of time left in the day here, obviously. Yesterday, we watched it. Seems to be several different key biting windows here. I mean, you can catch them all day, but there's that morning bite, and then there is an afternoon bite, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like Hank has been off to a great start, you know, every single day. I mean, he's in second place right now. Lane, again, I mean, it's hot out here. It's real still. There's a slight breeze. It's really cloudy. That topwater bite he's on, I mean, that's something special. Again, we saw it last week with Takahiro Mori, kind of the same deal. And then, you know, on the way here, on the drive over here, I was watching the live show, and I heard Kevin mention, hey, they're not pulling current at all. And you start to see it in his head, and he's thinking, oh, man, I want to move to this other spot over here. There might be a boat on there. I'm going to go check it out anyway. So he's going to do whatever he can to make those small little adjustments like that to keep on catching these 7-pounders. And you know, and the conditions are constantly changing. The fish are in a post-spawn mode. You know, the bait's moving around, the fish are moving around, and the angler to stay on top of them.
Made some adjustments yesterday, bait-wise and location-wise, and they paid off, and we'll have to see how that here today. But speaking of making adjustments, Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona back in the studio. Mark Menendez back in the studio. I mean, we have a star-studded field here today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Chris. Hey, is Billy Nungesser, the Lieutenant Governor, still there, Dave?
He is not here right now. He's here.
I think he's getting a funnel cake.
Okay.
Funnel cake, he says.
That's what I figured. Thank you, guys. I had one question for him. We'll get to him a little bit. Thank you so much. And Mark Menendez, heard Chris talking about that, and we all heard Kevin VanDam say they're not pulling any current today. And I mean, has there been like a predictable current situation there at all during the week?
Well, there has been. The lake's been falling about an inch a day, but you got to think how giant Toledo Bend is. I mean, that's a lot of water to move at one time. But that's not enough to generate a sustainable amount of current. It's the wind that's moving the water around the most.
Mark, I'm gonna throw you something about Chris Lane, and gang, trust me, if we have Chris Lane live, we're gonna go to him. Do not worry. But here's my question about him. He's starting in the morning, and kind of an area where he has been seeing him schooling on, you know, the shad spawn deal in the morning, and he's throwing a walking bait early in the morning and really gets to this whopper plopper deal as the sun gets high, and you know, whether it's a hard bottom or bluegill beds or whatever it is. I mean, these fish have come off very key stretches, but they're on an array of cover. Why can he not get that bite going in the morning and just basically lock that gun in his hand and go?
Well, he's being a little bit conservative because he's going to fish better when he gets 5. He's going to be, you know, if his 5 weigh 10 or 11, 12 pounds, then he can gamble a little more on it. So that's what it is. He's just getting a little comfort zone there. And where he's throwing that walking bait, you know, there's some 4 and 5 pounders living there too, so he may get a shot at one of those.
Watching Hank Cherry here. Hanging in there, second place. He's had his limit since he caught that big one. That was his 5th fish, the big one that we've replayed for you multiple times during the course of today.
And Hank's got a big fish bait in his hand, a jig.
Yeah.
He's slinging a big stake around.
We were talking earlier about, I mean, Toledo Bend, if you like high-profile, big-profile baits, this is the place. They'll bite that stuff here.
And the other side of this, if you really look at your top 3 right now, Hank Cherry doing what he's good at, Chris Lane doing what he's good at, and VanDam throwing his fastball. There is no better event to cover than when you have guys fishing their at 1,000% their strength.
And they're all different.
And they're all different.
That's the best part.
No curveballs, just straight heat.
Right.
Yep.
Just got a text that the morning Chris Lane gallery is up on the site. See images of Chris Lane.
How you really feel about it? Huh?
And it's just got
How
a
do you
4 a little
really
while
feel
ago
about
and
it?
called up to that 16-pound total.
Did he just have a fish follow it?
Boy, it looked like it.
I came back and got it.
Nothing gets past you two.
I cannot believe that. I saw him fall it to the boat, and I just dropped it down. He followed it to the boat, I just dropped it down there, and he went down and ate.
That's the color for him, too.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry it's so boring. Hey, what are you doing? That's better than I thought it was. Man, he followed it all the way out there. 1, 2, I think it's that one. It ain't that one. Oh yeah, it helps. It's this one right here. Next one will be yellow. Thank you, dude. You just swam right out there and ate it for me. Well, theoretically, he wasn't supposed to do that. No, but he did. Get in there. Yeah.
Another half pound in the bank.
Mm-hmm. Closest to 20.
Huh? I've been catching one out on the main channel after 1. I was going to go on out there, but I'm scared to hit it early. I got 2 out there the first day.
Sona, don't you just like gifts from heaven like that?
KVD just picked up and ran up lake a few miles. He's fishing a set of docks he fished yesterday morning.
Or 20 years after they built most of the Corps of Engineer big reservoirs and the TVA ones, like Kentucky Lake and so forth, they built this place. So it's a good bit younger reservoir here. And it's been so good for so many years. I mean, will it continue to be as strong as it is and has been?
Well, right now they're going to be on an upswing, and it's the benefit of the low water from, what was that, Mark? 2011. 11.
Yeah.
It was so low. You know, the bottom got firmed out. A lot of that mud hardened back up. A lot of the sediments got out of the system, and now when the water comes back up, you've got a new lake. So you basically have the peripheral of that lake, 8 or 9 or 10, 11 feet deeper, that's new again. Wow. So it regenerates it, and it gives it a shot in the arm.
And really, a lot of these lakes, from here all the way down, you know, you can go from here to Rayburn to Fork to Falcon. When you get these high water periods, you get massively good spawns
on an already productive, fertile body of water. Nothing like a little HGH there. You know,
Exactly.
Literally.
I mean, in all honesty, how bad would it suck, from a scale of 1 to 10, to be a bluegill swimming in this lake? I'm just being dead honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to be Captain Obvious, but imagine being born and saying, hey, I'm a bluegill, look at me, I'm having fun here in this little cypress tree.
Oops.
Yeah, bing bong. Mark, I have to say it. Please, I know you don't want to be here on a Saturday, but please stop by any time, my old friend.
We appreciate it. I mean, we monopolized your time, and what great work you've put in with us today, Mark. Thank you so much for interrupting your trip. I know you got to go to Memphis and then go home. You've got 400 miles under your belt plus some TV work.
Can I tell him real quick before we feed him this info? Mark Menendez, fair to say, for you, Such, you are the Tabasco Hot Spice Bowl Player of the Day. Oh, the week!
Quickly, how old was Toledo Bend Reservoir when B.A.S.S first held an event here? A month, 3 years, a year, 5 years?
Yeah,
Two on that, we'll be back.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
29 pounds, 3 ounces!
Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lawrence winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the Ultimate Upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkeley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha B.A.S.S SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. B.A.S.S SHO. The pack is growing.
Live coverage of the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend will return after this short break.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more.
You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you. The competition is fierce, and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package, including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The Classic and each individual Elite Event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at Bassmasterfantasy.com.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Bassmaster Live. Got another hour and a half for you. Geared up and ready to go, ready to show you what we've got to see out there on the lake. Big changes all up and down the leaderboard. We still got a tight race at the top. Let's run through this one more time. How old was Toledo Bend when B.A.S.S first held an event here? Was it a month old, 3 years old, a year, or 5 years old? Want to take a guess at that?
Well, as much as I want to play the quiet game, Tommy,
no, I don't want to.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 1 year.
1 year.
I'm going to go with 1 year.
I think that's a good guess. 67 to 73 years is exactly.
Was not even remotely close.
In the ballpark.
Nope.
All right.
Really don't know what I'm doing.
There'll be another day for you.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm not scared to call it out. I really don't know what I'm doing the majority of all these telecasts. So just par for the course, Ken.
Well, I think I'm in that same bucket.
Yeah. Bassmaster Live double box. There you go.
Hey, thanks to Mark Menendez.
Oh my gosh.
Great job. Great job. Always solid.
I'm going to get back in my corner now.
No, we need you.
Yep, they ain't here.
Bass Track Tweet has this Monroe.
Yeah, I'll go back down there to Pirates Cove and throw a shaky head if I got to. They're there at least. I can see them. I got a couple deals we're going to hit here. We're going to bolt out of here in a minute. And it doesn't matter, but it's just. Well, there is no water moving, and it's a good spot to stop in, 10 minutes before 3. Because when you get a bite here, it's a big one. Rock and roll.
Hank Cherry just ounces ahead of Kevin VanDam. You heard Kevin VanDam say, again, we got to keep reminding ourselves he's only got 2 keepers in the boat.
Right.
And if I got to do a shaky head at Pirates Cove, I'll do it.
Something you don't hear VanDam say very often is on Toledo Bend that I might go throw a shaky head. Just don't hear that.
Got a signal back. You know, we just back roam out of this creek, having cover, but my boat's still pumping 50 miles an hour, because I know it could be any second. That another big one just absolutely blows us up, and sinking the net, trying to figure what we could strike that happened. This thing, he came up with a mule kick. We need a mule kick. Like that's when they mule kick it. And my cameraman Eric decided to be a good day for it. Got a little grass here on this, and a cypress tree. We're gonna just over there, and I think we've got good signal there. So back with you here, sure. I want to fish this little right here. Go.
Yeah, we was waiting on a little bit better signal. Chris Lane, of course, moved back across the east side of Main Lake there, Toledo Bend, and it's a little sketchier over there, but he's got some pockets in there where we do get some good signal. And we eagerly await that. Hank Cherry trying to hang on to his signal as well. The three top guys, Chris Lane, as it stands now, Hank Cherry, Kevin VanDam, they're the same top three that we started with today, and no coincidence that each of them has one giant fish in there that's kept him there.
Man, who would have thought, though, your leader, you know, around the witching hour, only sitting on 2 bass. But I mean, it really goes to say what happened to Rick Klung yesterday.
What you like it when you lay that jig in there beside a cypress tree, you like it to go.
Menendez said it. He said, you know, VanDam's the riskiest bet of all.
That's what you want to do. It don't always do
just because,
that.
As far as a choice of how to try to win this thing.
Sometimes it does.
It can get you.
Yeah. You never know when it's going to happen. You just can't happen up there.
Bit of the lay of the land there around where Hank Cherry's fishing. Not completely a flat place like you might imagine most of East Texas to be. There's little hills. There's big bluffs on the at some places on the lake here.
Hey, this was really the deal that Hank Cherry was relying on late in the day, where he said throughout practice and the first day of the tournament, I mean, he lost a giant doing this, but it's really what he has seen follow his jig out off of some of these, you know, main lake docks that he said have been heavily ignored, but he said that he has seen enough that would blow this tournament away.
Pier with good depth.
Nobody saw the answer to that trivia we left them with. Okay, the chat room guys don't remember.
I need one of them big ones.
Where did we do the Woody Harrelson thing with him?
Can we do it again, please?
Have we got that on
We've had
tape
so
somewhere?
many haters today online. You know what? I'd love to piss off a few more of them. All right?
Wow.
Sorry, I would.
Boy, I thought you were going
No.
even worse than that for a second
Oh,
there.
sorry. Sorry. No, I have no problem saying that. But I'd like to, you know, as soon as we get locked up again, I'd like to throw that picture out there.
It kind of worked, didn't it?
No, it
Yeah.
did not work. It was fantastic. Maybe we could get that back out.
I don't know what that has to do with the haters online.
No, it's that kind of stuff that gets them all ramped up where they start hating on everybody in the
This
world.
thing, already mentally
Which I'm not going to let
prepared to know I'm not going to get a lot of bites.
They get mad when you quit talking about swivel side gauge and all that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's right. You know, we've torn away the fabric of the
I'm
sport.
going
Well,
In the process of destroying heroes.
Say that again, Tommy.
I didn't say that. Somebody was in the background.
Somebody else?
There's another mic open somewhere.
quite a lull in the action here, really, for the last
hour, anyway.
Hour and a half.
Well, when was Chris Lane's fishing? Hour and a half, you're right. Been a
Exactly
while.
right.
No, it's that. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
We'll do what we can to rev things up, though, Tommy.
Sure.
You and I have
Food for thought.
Yeah, exactly.
We're always throwing that out.
Bapu! Sometimes
Trying to make the world a better place.
Here we go. Hank Cherry's catches from earlier today. Had a little swim jig thing going early in the morning. Gang, the way he caught him on day number 1 for the first hour was a chatterbait, but he was a benefactor of the wind on day number 1. Without that wind, he's kind of gone to a swim jig deal and flipping a little punch rig after his shad spawn thing early in the morning. This is where he got his flipping deal going, catching a couple big ones earlier today.
Woo! Share my lunker. So great. Thank you, Jesus.
It was a day maker for Hank Cherry right there. If there had been more grass in the lower part of this lake, would there have been more chatterbait fishing going on?
I think there would have been a lot more chatterbait stuff going on. I really think, Tommy Sanders, there would have been a lot more jerkbait stuff going on just for time of year. And really, if you went off of our history here,
that's right.
If you went off our history here, this is a big time jerkbait time of year. But without all that, it's been shallow or deep, and not a lot in between.
I cannot believe. What do you think?
Great idea you had with that picture.
No, they did.
Got to be
Get 'em.
somewhere. You know it's out there somewhere. Kevin VanDam post the move he had talked about 5 or 10 minutes ago. A little shaky on the signal there. Everybody's signal's a little bit shaky right now, but look at Chris Lane.
We just jumped over to another main point. As you can see, this grass looks just fantastic in here. A lot of bait, we've seen a lot of brim. You know, we're like that. We've got 12:20. You know, I've got 2.5 hours to get 2 bites. I think to have another really good bag. So I think I'll have my opportunities. Just getting them in the boat. Now I'm sitting here debating whether to run back down and give that one a shot. You know, he's probably eating good, but I think after that, and haven't hit one of our key stretches yet that we hit yesterday. You know, if we can get one big one here, you know, and you look, I got that whole line of grass. It's not, you know, we're not spot fishing. There's no spots. It's just pattern. You just take this thing and you zing it down the line, and you just wait. I think you pass up fish. I think you pass up 1.5-pounders, 2-pounders. You know, I've caught some 2.5s on it, but the majority, the ones that want to eat, have been oversized.
When the big bass start talking to you, can you hear them?
Yeah, you can hear it when you get on a point, kind of like that, right there. You know, they're talking to you. It's whether or not they decide to commit. But that's one of them areas where you could get that gollywop. Poosh.
And what do you say to them when they're talking?
Oh, I hear you. Now, if we could just get a mule kick, we'd be in good shape. It's funny the stuff you make up when you're out in the boat. I haven't been buddies with the guy in the back of the boat that's shooting all the filming because I've never been with him before, but spending 2 days with Eric, and we've got to know each other pretty well.
What about that third day?
What's the third day?
You said maybe 3 might be too much for me.
Oh, yeah. 3 might be too much. Hey, I'll take you tomorrow. Hey, we can't change anything up now, except for a big boom right here. You know, when you get the scattered grass, you can almost pick a lane right in there and kind of come through it. And a lot of the times you can get one of them big ones to get it that way too. But you got to be able to keep it clean. Just waiting on the one.
Will we see a 25-pound bag today, too?
I don't know.
I mean, this is 4 foot deep. Got some grass on the bottom a little bit, but you got a great grass edge right here. And fishing down this thing, you can just fish it. It's not like fishing a school of fish. You know, you're fishing for just a single roam or just cruising down through the grass, and Them big ones like to hang out by themselves. Up shallow. Now out deep they get together, have fun, but up shallow they seem to want to be loners, which is fine. But as you can see, this grass point right here, if you look down that line, you know, it's straight as an arrow, and then you got that grass point, and that's a high percentage opportunity right there. You can see some brim out off the point, and they seem to be just on the inside like that right there. We'll try the outside too, but man, look at you can see all these bait fish swimming right here. Can you see those, Eric?
Camera can't pick them up.
Okay. Sometimes I don't even want to look at it because, like we had earlier, I was looking at it and I saw that fish come up and I lost that fish because I saw him come up and eat it. That's why I prefer him to hit it on those really long casts. It's a lot of work to get them in, but who cares? As long as you get them in. If we had a little wind, I think it would be a little better. That wind picked up, you know, pretty late yesterday afternoon, and you know, we had 3 really big bites towards the end of the day, and it was just right over there. So we're going to finish up here, and we'll work our way over there. See, every fish I weighed in yesterday came on this. The first day, I think 3 or 4 of them came on this. Today, so far, we only have got 1 that we're weighing in on this, but usually if one bites it, oh wow, look at that giant one bust off that point. He was out. But, might be one up too.
What do you think? Was he 25 today?
No.
What's the smallest one in Hank Cherry's box? 2 pounds?
Oh, I'd say a little more than that.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be hard for him to get there.
Nice point
Bass
right
tweak,
there.
Kevin
You know,
VanDam just caught his 3rd fish, 2-pounder, so
2-pounder.
The 14, 15
I just want to
pounds.
know if he's shaky heading so I can call him tonight and make fun of him for a little bit. Sorry. I'm ready, Tommy. I am. I'm not
Are you
gonna
ready?
lie. Yep. I'm ready.
Take a little break.
That's
come
just
back
when the
and check in with
wheels
Mercer,
start
do
to
that
come
kind of
off and I start raging.
Okay. Cool down. Slow down.
Fool.
Slow down, fool. Chris Lane, still on top. Last guy we've seen to catch a big, giant, oversized largemouth bass here on Toledo Bend. Kevin VanDam, he's done it today, and we saw Hank Cherry do it as well. The top 3, they were the top 3 when we started this day, not necessarily in that order. Who's going to break out? Who's going to catch the other big one? Somebody's going to come in with 2 big ones. I have that feeling. We'll be back with more on Bassmaster Live.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more.
You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
It's funny, I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. We have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
Come on now.
That one right there.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
If you love bass fishing, then show your support by joining B.A.S.S today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing. With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend, brought to you live by Toyota.
Final hour of Bassmaster Live getting started right here, and we're creeping. We're moving up on it. That time when Bassmaster.com hosts the weigh-in, third day weigh-in at this very important tournament on Toledo Bend. ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite on Toledo Bend, 4:15 Eastern Time. That's when Dave Mercer will crank it up and we will get things going.
And as of right now, potential big changes by our weigh-in.
Could be. I mean, there's plenty of time for that to happen. We started today with cameras with 4 guys. Chris Lane, Kevin VanDam, Ish Monroe, and this guy, Hank Cherry.
Moments ago.
Huh? That one? Probably up to 3. He's real skinny. Getting there, we're getting there.
Okay, guys.
Oh, hey, guys. Okay, well, that was moments ago. That was while, in fact, we were away for a few moments, came back and saw that from Hank Cherry, still trying to upgrade, did upgrade with that one right there. Moving a little closer, you say we won't get to 25 among any of these anglers today.
I say we do not see a 25-pound.
He wanted to watch it. Kevin VanDam, possibly the greatest potential. Now he's got 3 fish, they say, instead of rather 2 fish, so it's going to be a little bit harder. Dave Mercer, back again, down there at Cypress Bend
And
Park.
I hear he is with one of our a young Pistolaro.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the rumor on the street.
The Pistolaro of the week, absolutely, and just about every week. Justin Lucas there with Dave Mercer. Guys, what do you got to talk about? What are we going to chew on here?
Well, first of all, I got to say, Justin, an absolute party breaking out here behind us. If you hear that noise, get down here if you're anywhere local. But, Justin, somewhere you don't want to be here this week. Having another great season on the Elite Series, but didn't make the cut here. And you made a very valid point to me. You You've looked at what's happening here, and pre-fish really determined this tournament, did it not?
It did, and like I said, there's really not that many deep fish being caught, maybe 10 or 15 checks out of the top 50 guys, but the fact that you couldn't move around in practice because it was so windy, I couldn't leave a creek to go check another shallow creek. It was that hard to literally get around, and I looked top 15 or 20 guys, with the exception of like Paul Mueller. All those guys have been here so many times, and it just kind of pisses me off. Honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm not happy about it because I know that I should do better here. I like the way this lake sets up and everything. And so far, I've missed 4 checks on the Elite Series, and 2 of them have been here, and that just doesn't sit well with me. So my wife and I, we bought a 5th wheel this year, and for part of the reason is to Michigan and Thousand Islands this summer. Even though we don't have tournaments there, I need to learn them better, and you better darn sure I'll be coming back here one of the years we don't have a tournament to learn it better. So it's a place that's been around for almost 50 years now. Bass is going to keep coming. These people love this tournament, and I know we're going to keep coming back, and I need to get better here. So
you made a really good point where you equated wind blow for 3 days, and then you hadn't had experience here at a big disadvantage.
To put it in perspective of how rough this place actually is, I didn't realize we had one really windy day last time in practice, and obviously it was different conditions. I didn't do great in that tournament again, but this time with 2.5 days of practice, 3 days of practice, and the wind blew 20 miles an hour from the south every day, and it never really stopped. You couldn't just get around, man, and would be the best way to describe it. It is not the safest place to be running around, and you have to stay in the boat lanes, to make sure you whatever, and it can be extremely hard to get around because you can't trough waves where you want to go to take them at 45-degree angles, and I don't care what boat you're in, rough ride.
And this time, if this is your first time and you're seeing footage on Bassmaster Live, you're going to say, well, I don't know why they're saying it's treacherous, but we're forest, flood a forest, and that's exactly what it's like. I mean, I'm talking about so much wood that you can't get a boat through it, and you can't move outside of that lane. But the unique thing we're seeing here with our 3 leaders fishing 3 totally different ways. I mean, you got Chris Lane with a big top water. You have Hank Cherry who's cycling through, flipping some bushes and fishing some docks, and then Kevin offshore. Any of those shock you?
Really no. You think VanDam, he's going to catch him deep somewhere, and he knew the area to go to, even though where he was fishing was getting absolutely pounded by the wind. You could not practice there. I saw where he was. You couldn't practice there, but he went there the first day of the tournament and made it happen. You got to fish the moment, and I've noticed the banks that these guys caught him on. I saw Chris Lane yesterday. I lost a big one on a bank right by. It was on a south-facing bank, just pounded by the wind in practice. But he had caught him there in the past and knew it was the place they moved. But I mean, you look at Hank, he's up flipping.
This is the big one.
I know. That was a tank. He was so excited he thought it was a 10.
He's since reduced that. He waited on the boat. He said he opened the well and said, I think it's an 8. And then he waited, and it's a 7. So he's no different than any other angle.
Yeah. No, that was a tank, though. I am surprised to see him flipping bushes. The dock thing.
Never flipped in a tournament before.
Really?
No lie. That's what he said. Never flipped in a tournament before.
He's doing a darn good job.
He might do it again.
Yeah, we saw him throwing a VanDam on a shad spawn in the mornings, The guy, the two, obviously Chris Lane, man, the last 5 years he's won a tournament. He knows how to close, and he's having a lot of fun. And you can tell he was not in a good mood after the first part of the season. He missed 3 checks in a row, bounced back at Wheeler 2 weeks ago, and dude's right back at it. So he's a scary dude. Close. He knows how to catch big ones, and out for him.
Right there. Very motivated too, because as you said, with 3 bad starts, and then finally making a cut, and then in contention to make the 12 cut here. I mean, he knows it's time to turn it around. We're at event number 5. If you're going to make right
Heck
now.
yeah, and he did, man. You know, he was so far down there in the points after the first 3, and I looked last night, and he's in 40th place. So he is getting right to the bubble boy, you know, in the classic standings, and that's not a guy that you want feeling some momentum, because he can catch them.
By far, I mean, Kevin VanDam, obviously the greatest to ever play the game, but
yeah.
Chris Lane, the greatest in the last 5 years. There's nobody who holds a candle to him really in the last 5 years.
Winning goes,
no,
you know, and he's consistent, but you know, he does have his flaws. He'll miss checks here and there, but no matter what, at least 2 times a year, you're going to see him knocking on the door for a win.
What do you think happened with
5.
his career? In the way that, listen, and I've told him this, and this is not a slight on Chris, but if you had to ask, you know, 5 years ago, and Lane's little brother, and everybody, you know, it was all about Bobby, and his career has exploded. Was it?
Was part of it, but he's really formed himself as an angler, as being a guy who can win. Bobby, we know, can win as well, but he hasn't won as many tournaments as Chris. Chris, if you look in the years past, Bobby's standings in the AOY standings have typically, on average, always been higher than Chris's, but Chris does like to go for it, man. He's a risk taker, and I appreciate that. You know, he's not a guy that just goes out there and looks for a check every week. He's a guy that goes out there and really tries to win every week, so I appreciate that. Every fisherman's style is different, and some guys, you know, have that go for the win mentality. Other guys have, you know, make a classic every year mentality, and mixing that up to have a little of both is a special recipe.
Where are you at with that right now? Because I'll tell you, when we were talking before we went on air, I said, where are you sitting in Angler of the Year points? And you told me 10th and did this. A couple of years ago, I don't think you would have, if you were at 10th in this point of the season, you'd be like, sitting 10th, having a great season. It's amazing the change. Where are you at with that? Is it trying to win titles, or is it knowing that right moment to make that risk?
Well, I think growing up in Northern California, West Coast, has really, you know, I've said it before, it builds the versatility in an angler. Skeet, Aaron, me, Zaldane, so many guys, you can name, from the West Coast, that we just feel comfortable fishing so many places. I feel like I'm finally starting to get enough experience under my belt that I can take more risk in practice to try and win tournaments more often. But I'm just getting to that point in my career. I've been consistent to this point, and it's really important to me to stay consistent because I don't want to miss top 50. I hate working here on Saturdays, dude. I'll just be honest. I want to be out there. I should be out there. You know, that's how I feel in my mind. And that's not cocky, and it's not overly confident. It's not overly confidence either, because I know how easy it is to miss it. Here I am. You know, I appreciate every single Saturday that I make because I know how easy it is. And I was, you know, 3 bites that I lost, that cost me. And it looks like I have a terrible tournament, but I could have also kept the streak going, you know, and could have been there. So I'm getting to the point in my career where I feel like I can take those risks and have an opportunity to win more in the next following years. But we see it in so many guys. You don't hit your prime as a fisherman until your late 30s, early 40s. And so I'm excited and thankful for what I've done to this point because I just turned 30, knowing that the best years are still ahead of me. And so that's exciting. It's the unknown of what's going to happen. And I still just look up to so many of these guys and trying to mold my career after an Aaron, after a Chris, you know, take a little bit of all of what they have and build it into my own little recipe. So
one of the things you just said, that, you know, you correct yourself, said, I'm not being cocky, I'm not being overly confident. And I'll tell you, as a guy who covers this sport, it's refreshing to hear somebody say what you just said, because so often we get used to people saying, well, if it's my time, it's my time. If it's meant to be. And there is a bit of that involved, obviously. But I always make the equation. I mean, you have a brother who's a professional golfer. You understand other sports. Have you ever gone, your brother played in the U.S. Open. When you talked to him before that tournament, did he go, an advantage to having a confidence in your abilities if the opportunity arises itself?
Yeah, I mean, you have to expect it. I didn't have a lot of confidence coming into this tournament because I knew the way that the practice was going to shape up with the wind and everything, and I knew it was going to be a really tough week for me. But in my mind, I still knew that, like, I am going to put myself in a position to get the bites to make a check. I'm going to do that. And I did do that. I didn't capitalize on it, but that's what I expect out of myself every week, no matter where we go. And if I don't, I'm mad about this one. I'm not as upset because I know I had the bites to be there. If I didn't have the bites to make a top 50, I'd be really mad at myself. So, man, you got to miss a check every now and then to make you hungry and build the fire up a little bit more for 2 weeks from now when we go to Texoma, you know. So, like I said, I appreciate every top 50. The field is so stacked this year and every year moving forward. It's just going to keep getting. And to make a top 50, I'm always thankful. Make top 12s even more. And I know that, you know, those don't come easily. It's a lot of hard work to get them.
We look at a guy like Hank Cherry off to a great start in his career, and then had that roadblock year last year where he's really refocused and having a great year this year. But I think Max Headroom's got a hold of our video screen, because every once in a while it's shut. Wow, what a surprise. Last time I looked, Chris Lane was leading this whole deal. KVD obviously made a critical last few minutes here, moved into the lead with 69 pounds, 6 ounces. I want to ask you this. The all-time record for the Elite Series is 83 pounds here, winning weight.
Okay. That'll get smashed.
That's going to get smashed. Can we get to the Century Club here?
Yeah, why not? I mean, VanDam's at 69. He had 29 the first day. You know, one more cold a day, or he's only got 4 fish now, or 3 fish. So I don't even think he has a limit. So he gets one more, he's going to be over 70. There's no doubt he could break 100.
That's one never accomplished. Never been a Bassmaster Century Club member. Wow. Very motivated to get one of those belts, so I'm sure he'd love to see it. Of these 3 patterns that we're seeing, you know, move up to the top, and obviously, you know, Ish and Browning and guys like that are definitely not out of it. But of those 3 patterns in the top, which one would you, and I'm not talking about a specific angler, but which one would you have expected going into this event? That's how you're going to win this deal.
The one VanDam's on. You know, that's, I mean, obviously, and that's, is, you know, we talked about, but there's just really not that many good fish out. When you look at the amount of guys check shallow versus how many made a check deep, there's really offshore. There's a ton of little ones out there, very few of the real big ones right now. But VanDam found a spot or a couple of spots, and he's making it happen. But he's still doing the shad spawn in the morning because he knows, you know. So, I mean, obviously everything's playing into VanDam's favor. The only thing I don't like about what he's doing is how many boats are around him, you know, and how many people are out there on the lake. I heard there was 30 boats that idled over his spot yesterday after he. That was Friday, you know, and it's Saturday and Sunday. So that's the only thing that scares me for him. But it would be cool for me. And he hasn't won since I've been over here, and.
Is that the reason why? Did you shut down Kevin VanDam's streak?
No,
is that what you're saying?
No. I would like to see I'd like to see the king back at it, man. It would. I mean, one time. I don't need him to go on and start winning everything, but to see him win one and be here in person would be pretty cool.
I'm going to tell you. I mean, everybody in the sport would love to see Kevin win, obviously, and many of the guys in the top 10. But I'm going to tell you, as an Elite Series pro, I'd be a little scared to let him get back in there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want him coming back too hot.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Turn around with one. I mean, Chris Saldain a few years ago, we saw it turn around with one bite. He said they needed a stump buster, and he definitely got that. But Justin Lucas, you are going to have an incredible season as it continues. I want to thank you for being our guest. Tommy Sanders and Mark Zona in the studio.
Dave, I think the term is it's a slump buster.
Nice hoodie. It must be cold in there.
Not a stump buster. I don't know. Go ahead.
They said a slump buster.
Sorry. Slump buster, not a stump buster.
Sorry, that's bad.
Great job, Justin, Dave, fantastic. Justin Lucas, another fantastic season for the young man who was the runner-up last year in Toyota Bassmaster.
Love that guy.
Angler of the Year, very talented guy. Talked about the versatility of these California guys. Surprising to me, we've only got one California guy in our top 12 to start today, and that's Ish Monroe. And speaking of which, I hope we can get some pictures up of him, because I think that Red Bull and that 5-hour energy are starting to wear off by now, and he might be a little bit.
Well, we don't have pictures of him, Tommy Sanders.
Well,
we're just working on a lot of our technology right now, but we got pictures of other anglers, guys.
We got postcards. Yeah, check it out. Brandon Polinick. There we go. Looked like some Alton Jones and Mike Iaconelli chiming in here.
Dennis TJ making the cut this week.
Absolutely, having a great tournament.
Is that the first time he's made the cut here at Toledo Bend?
You know, because that's always kind of a deal, because he's a Toledo Bend guy.
Exactly.
Skeet Reese. Big bass today for
big
Skeet
spoonfish.
Yeah.
Got that right there.
Nice. Good stuff.
We did get confirmation that Kevin VanDam caught his 4th fish, and it was a good one, evidently.
4 pounds plus?
Yes, trying to get confirmation on that right now.
And we did not have our camera up and running when we
TJ.
He caught that one, so we won't
Would
see
you
that
feed
one.
me some commercials?
What? I don't have trivia to feed you. I got nothing else, but I will give you commercials. Just a few of them as we take one more break in our presentation of Bassmaster Live for this third day at Toledo Bend. ARE Truck Caps Elite Series event. Kevin VanDam back on top now. Look at that. A couple of pounds over Chris Lane and Hank Cherry. Ish Monroe hanging in there, all of them. Bassmaster Live.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
29 pounds, 3 ounces!
Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lowrance winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the ultimate upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha B.A.S.S SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. B.A.S.S SHO. The pack is growing.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
Come on now.
That one right there.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
$30, $29, $28, tick, tock. 25 years old, and you're still laying in the mud. 15 feet in the air, that's where you feel most alive. 10 meter maids waiting to wallpaper your truck. Better get out of town. 5, 4, 3. The all-new Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
Days, it's funny. I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. And we have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water. And he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
You're watching the ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite at Toledo Bend. Brought to you live by Toyota.
Bassmaster Live. Final 30 minutes coming your way right here from Toledo Bend. Third day of this ARE Truck Caps Bassmaster Elite Series event, when we take it down to 12 anglers who will fish for the championship, the 100 grand tomorrow. Final day coverage again, coming to you 6 hours worth from 8:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Bassmaster Live coming your way. Who knows what we will see? I don't know, Mark Zona. If somebody's within 10 pounds, they're still in it, do you think?
I would have to say absolutely yes, judging from what we've seen with Kevin VanDam or a few of our other anglers say back on the water right now. Hey, Sherry, Bassmaster.
Your unofficial Bass Track results there. VanDam, Lane, Cherry, Monroe, the four we started with today. They were the four on top of the leaderboard when we started. For all the moving up and down, no one has dropped out among those top four. Among those guys moving up, Stephen Browning. We mentioned Dennis TJ. Hey, he's at 14th place. He's got a shot at making the top 12 here on Toledo Bend.
This is just something that Hank Cherry had in his back pocket really since practice. Said he got to take a look at two pretty big bags in practice doing this, and so far, at least today on Saturday, not been the case. Made a couple calls. They've not been the giant calls that he thought he could make.
What? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Huh? I don't feel good. I'm just tired. I mean, I'm just exhausted. I'm just trying to keep the mindset that any cast is going to be a bump. I can't break any more off or have any stupid stuff happen. just got to find the hungry one. Well, I'm right here.
I'm gonna, bro. I'm gonna, leave me alone. How you feeling? They want to know how you're feeling.
Huh?
We're live.
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
Feeling good. I got a limit of fish, got a big one, got a couple nice ones. I've just got to connect on one of these fish. I know they're sitting on these docks. I just got broke off 5 minutes ago. I don't know how big the fish was, but he had a big mouth. It looked kind of like Zona coming up to eat it, so.
See, it's been the whole day.
There you go.
It's been the
All
whole
day.
day.
I'm gonna hit
Beating
every
on
dock
you all
from here
day.
all the way back to the
Online,
way in,
these
and I'll
guys.
get a shot at one. If I put it in the
Let's walk
boat,
down to the easy mark and see what they have to
I
say
don't
to
know
you
what they
today.
did, but I didn't hurt myself any at all.
I'll be dead honest with you.
And that's the way I look at it.
I agree.
You ready?
I agree. I really do.
They just want me to keep shooting. They don't care if I'm strapped in or anything. They don't fucking care.
Oh, okay.
Keep shooting, Brian.
Sorry.
Whoa,
It's
we
getting
should've
better.
been talking.
Worse.
I care.
It's getting. I care. I care. I do. I do.
Perhaps
And you know
maybe
what?
I
And
care
I'm gonna
too
be
much.
honest with you. I do. I do deserve the mass majority of people that have shredded me today. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll tell you one thing I don't
Shredded
do.
you. Somebody shredded
Well,
you?
I mean, but I'll tell you something I don't do. You know, you talk about haters, and I like to have fun with the haters too. Tommy, I'll tell you something. I mean this, Such. I'm being dead serious. I don't like the sport of soccer, and I hate their commentators. I hate them. Hate them.
Do you go online and
Not
bash
on a
them?
Saturday or a Sunday, on a weekend. I do not go online and shred them on my days off. I don't lie. So to all of you that do, I get it, evidently.
Okay.
There you go, Tommy.
Okay. I haven't seen this stuff, but
Sorry.
I haven't looked. I haven't combed it through.
All right, Tommy,
You
real
got a
quick.
photograph?
Earlier today, we showed a picture that was sent to me from some friends that were over on Wheeler that had
Oh, okay, yeah.
that they took their family out fishing and put a playpen in the back of their boat. They put a playpen in the and folks, if we get some footage out on the lake, we'll take you there. All right, do me a favor. Go ahead and keep butchering me. Number one, I don't mind. I don't mind. We got a picture
Why would you listen to this?
somewhere.
We've got it. A picture.
Hold on, I'm locked up. That was a joke. It's a joke.
Locked up? What do you mean?
So we had a picture earlier of a family that took their kids out on the boat. They were having a family weekend. They were having a family weekend. If we could just go to that picture.
I think we've got it. I think we've got it queued up and ready to go. Actually, we've got two pictures side by side.
One of them was at the Wheeler Dam. It's not me, guys. It's not me, guys. We're going to go to it. We're going to go to the picture. Okay?
There it is.
Now, here's what's interesting. Here's what's interesting. This family has a playpen in the back of their boat. I'm not going to say that's the safest thing to do on earth. We said earlier,
right below the dam.
Don't put a playpen.
Life jackets on those kids.
Well,
Come on.
It looks like there's a life jacket, but
There is a life jacket.
I'm going to say don't go below a dam. Don't go below a dam with your kid in a playpen. We instantly got a photo of Scott Martin in a playpen with his dad, Roland Martin, right there.
In the back, obviously,
Is that
of a boat.
Is that a pack of heaters in his pocket right there? What am I missing? I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Probably a wallet.
No.
It's probably a wallet.
No.
Sorry. I'm
Passport.
sorry. That's
Something
Scott
like that.
Martin.
Scott
right
Martin
there.
in the back of the boat.
Oh my gosh, what a day.
It's on a trailer,
What a
though.
day.
Come on.
What a day. What a day. What a day. And I'm going to agree with one person. User, what you just wrote, you are so right on.
What does he say?
I
Come on.
should, but I don't.
Tell him what he said. What did he say?
Z, you ought to have 7 beers before you go in the studio. That's what
You
I
just
would
need
do.
one more then, huh?
User just became my favorite person in the chat room. That's great. Bassmaster Live. Hey, Jerry.
We're all
I
loading
am-
up with everybody and going
I
to
am
Chuck E. Cheese a little bit later. a pretty neat deal.
I am such an idiot. I really am. Bassmaster Live.
Stop. Just stop. Quit looking at that stuff. There he is. There's Ish. He's back.
Hey. Well, are we up?
Just now. They just got a signal.
Awesome. That's great.
Boy, everybody's on the bus today.
Why is everybody pissed? I love it, though. Are you mad, Tommy?
I'm happy.
Are you
I
sure?
couldn't be happier.
I've only seen you
I'm
mad.
thankful. I'm thankful for what we've been able to see. We've seen three of the three top leader guys catch their biggest fish of the day. We were able to see it live. Are you kidding me? I'm ecstatic.
It's just so long right now.
No, it is. You make it longer when you dwell on these silly.
No, I like joining.
Oh, gosh.
Live.
Monroe, not a shabby day. I figure he's got 18 and a
No,
half
very
pounds.
solid.
That's pretty nice.
I'll tell you what is. Here goes some Captain Obvious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, what a 2 to 2.5 pounder would do for VanDam at this juncture of the tournament.
Give him some breathing.
Where a lot of that size bass has been discarded this event.
Good point. Some by him.
He's trying to grow up.
Well, let's not, rule anything out. He's got at least an hour and 45 minutes left to fish.
And
Most of these guys.
he really did. If you talk to the guys that followed him yesterday, our camera guys, he caught a couple big bass in the last 2 hours after we were offline.
He could wind up with a 25 minute.
He must be killing them. No, buddy, I'm not killing them. I think I'm getting killed, but I'm not killing them. You know who's going to bed when they get home? This guy.
He's very tired, I think, Cherry. Ish Monroe, on the other hand, got plenty of fuel.
Yeah, absolutely.
running
No
on
doubt
the
about it.
5-hour energy and the Red Bull.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
No crash.
Yeah. No, there's a couple of them. Yeah. Dude, just as long as I got enough to be in 12s, I'll be happy. And to be sure, I got enough for that. What they do, go live with us for like 5 seconds? Oh. We've had good signal?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
So you know everything that's going on. Damn it. Oh, I'm sure they know more than me because I don't know nothing. I tell you what I feel like I'm a fish short. I don't know why I feel that way, I just do. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had like a 7-pound lead over 12. Yep.
I don't know why that is or how you guys do that, but I see that a lot. I guess you guys just do it.
Well,
But you're not old, right?
no, I'm pretty sure I'm right today. Huh? Oh no, but I'm worried about making the cut. That's all I'm thinking about. No, I can't, but if I caught a 5-pounder, I sure can get a lot closer. I don't know. I really think, personally, the delay with that second flight, because a lot of those guys came back and caught them yesterday, I think that's going to mess them up, because a lot of them missed their shad bite with that 20-minute delay. I don't know.
Sorry. Oh my gosh. That's what it looks like, Tommy. And it's not my
What
fault.
Kevin does.
And I'm not the one using profanity. I'm not.
I can't worry about them. See, I still thought the sleeper was Chris. Yeah, 'cause he did kind of hiding, doing his thing. Well, see, he got his big one late yesterday. If he didn't get that big one, he's not right there. So it's all that kind of game. A lot of big fish been caught between 1 and 3. How y'all doing?
Make sure you're of the same mind as you, Mark Zona, thinking Chris Lane, the big sleeper in this tournament, right?
Yeah, but what amazes me, he knows he's at about, between 60 and 63 pounds that he's worried about making the cut.
Yeah, it's amazing how some guys are so dead on, and when they got everyone else figured out what they have, and some of them can be
a little
so
bit
far
surprised
off.
right there.
Yeah. It may be just a motivating trick or something.
Should have put him on TV.
You guys want to be on TV?
You want to be on TV? Come on.
There they are.
Bingo. See, so we got no batteries. Live wheels are barely working. Trolling motor's on high and been on high for the last 2 hours. I don't think any of them charged. We run them down. We have run them down. It's just barely there. Come on, honey. God dang it. I'm just thinking, that was a good place for one to be, Hank. I got that marked as a miss too. I missed one right there yesterday. Down to the next dock here. Them way down there. You can just get up on front. Come on, baby.
Well, Hank Cherry is pretty much really for the last 2 hours. He's really the only one that we had cell service with. We're going to give his cameraman a little bit of a break.
Yeah, he can turn it off now.
Yeah, he can turn it off now.
That'd be a good idea.
Exactly right, Tommy.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's tough camera situation out there this week, tough signal situation. I think we've been extraordinarily lucky. We've gotten a lot of what you might call the juice, despite being down for a lot of the time.
No, we were. And gang, we apologize for when we would get locked up out on the water. We knew, looking at the schedule last year, we knew coming into this event this was going to be a trying one, but in all honesty, I was happy with what we received thus far.
I had a place in the back of my mind where I saw us getting maybe 12 minutes of signal every day.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
That
wouldn't be bad.
Well, let's take a look at what we have seen. Let's count our blessings here. Let's take a look at some of the good stuff that we have seen.
Please.
Let's keep it positive.
Start with Ish Monroe.
Ish Monroe, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he come off. There. I thought he came off. And that's a good one right there. Big jig, destroyer.
It's 24 pounds, 10 ounces on day number 2 of this tournament. Fantastic job. Hank Cherry, hey. had a little something going all day long.
Exactly right. Started off with a swim jig, kind of replaced that from the chatterbait he was throwing earlier in the event when we had a lot of wind. Wind kind of died off, went to his swim jig, got things going in the grass in his docks. Then he was fishing for retreads really for the first hour. After that, went to flipping bushes, and this happened.
Woo! Share my lunker. All right. Thank you, Jesus.
Made a few calls out fishing his main lake docks. Not big calls, but could prove critical by the end of tomorrow.
Guy you told us to watch from the start of today, Chris Lane. Don't take your eyes off Chris Lane. Doing something, staying with the top water bite all day long.
Yeah, Chris Lane catching a limit
Right
quick
there's
on
a
a walking bait.
moose.
Then going to his
Oh my
whopper
gosh.
plopper. This happened at about, call it about 10:30.
Chris Lane, maybe not done today. You heard it from,
Give me a
from
little
the
bit,
lips
give
of
me
Hank Cherry.
some-
He caught a big one late yesterday.
Such, give me some predictions for tomorrow. Looking at Kevin VanDam, slow day, but
big one.
We don't know how big that fourth fish is. We have no idea how big that fourth one he caught was.
Look at that one. You think he's
got
been
four
eating some
fish,
shad?
I thought we reported 4.8.
That's what we're reporting, but we like to lay our eyes on him before we can.
Yeah,
put
that's
them in.
right.
I think a blog came in and said that he just put in a.
This right here, definitely, I'm going to say the hit of the year so far. VanDam with a giant offshore Toledo Bend bass.
That would give him about 2 fish, actually 2 keepers, at 9:30 this morning. And until the last hour, he did not have any more in there.
Hey,
Okay.
look, it's been a trying day, but I'm talking luck.
Oh
Jerk.
my gosh, there it was locked up. Been
Tommy,
fun,
we're
though.
going to come back tomorrow, and here's what we're going to do for Championship Sunday. I promise you.
Okay.
We are going to try harder than ever. Will we not, Such?
Oh yeah, we'll try harder.
Hey,
We'll
bud.
be- we'll be
let's
more
say
prepared.
that with a little bit more positivity. Gosh.
Ish 5-pounder.
5-pounder for
Tweet it in.
Ish.
He's
Okay.
over 20 now.
Holy man.
Still catching them.
Things are popping. More than a few reasons to stick around until 3:15 this afternoon Central Time, 4:15 Eastern. And Dave Mercer's going to crank it up at Cypress Bend Park. The weigh-in going to be giant.
Right.
Giant crowds on hand. There always are.
That's a good one right there.
East Monroe. That was from earlier today. Kevin VanDam. We have seen a lot. We have seen a lot despite struggling a little bit throughout the course of the day. Like you say, Mark Zono could come back and make it even better tomorrow.
Back and better than ever.
Back and
as
better
my
than
friends
ever.
Mike and Mike would say.
That's our motto for tomorrow. We'll be back with Bassmaster Live, and we'll see you then.
That's what we're looking for.
Right there's a moose.